Good afternoon to all of you who have invested in EMINIFX. I have some very, very good news for you. Today, January 21st, Judge Caprini just issued an order. And the order that the judge issued today will probably certainly most likely mark the end of this case. And I'm going to explain to you very quickly. You remember in my last video, I've explained that the reason why the receiver was not able to start sending you your money, to start distributing the money, was that the receiver had filed a motion in the court in front of Judge Caprini to approve the modality of the distribution. And when the receiver filed that motion, Eddie Alexson filed a motion in opposition. The judge denied it. And then Eddie Alexson then filed a notice of appeal, which was subsequently denied because it was an interlocutory appeal. And the judge has ruled that there is no way in hell that Eddie Alexson is going to win this appeal. And certainly the judge let Eddie Alexson know with no uncertain term that he could not have pleaded guilty, or after he pleaded guilty to having misled and defrauded the investors, now he wants to come in as the savior of the investors by trying to go against the formality or the modality proposed by the receiver to distribute the money to you. So today, the judge issued an order. The order is only, I think, three pages. It wasn't a very long order, but it kind of encapsulates the history of this case. What does this mean for you? It means that the receiver now has absolutely no reason not to start sending out checks. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the order. I want to talk about the distribution modality, but I don't want to bore you because there's a lot of, legal language and so on and so forth. So all I want you to get out of it is that, number one, it looks like the way that the receiver put the plan that he has presented to the court for distribution, that plan was approved. So now the receiver can start sending checks to people who have met all the requirements and to people that don't have any sort of dispute in terms of the amount of money. It looks to me, based on my reading of the order, that you probably most likely going to get between 50 to 58% of your money, which means that if you invested $100,000, you may end up getting between $50,000 and $58,000. So just a sort of roughly based on my reading of the order. So, and it's a good news, guy. It's a good news that last time I spoke to the receiver, that was what he was waiting for to be able to start sending checks out. Now that the judge had issued this order, so there's no reason why the receiver can't start writing check as of next week or the week after. Now, certainly, this is going to take some work. I think that the receiver is working with a company, and then most of you, if not all of you, had actually provided your bank account to the receiver for him to be able to wire that money to you. So if you have done that, then be happy. I think in the next week or two, some people are going to start receiving money. Now, the other thing I noticed also in the order is that the first tranche of money that are going to go out, it might just be 30% of what you invested. And then later on, the receiver would give you another 20 or 28%, which I already said might be equal between 50% to 58%. But no matter how it comes, guys, you guys have been waiting for a very long time for this money. And I had made a promise to you that I will see you through this, that I would help you, especially the Haitian community. Of course, I'm doing this in English because I understand that there are other people who are not Haitians who also invested in EMINIFX. They also want to know that their money, is coming. So that's why I'm doing it in English. Otherwise, I would have done it in Creole if it were just for Haitian. But nevertheless, this is what's going on. I have been watching this case very closely. Today, I got the order in the mail and in my email. I got notice from the court that the judge issued the order, so I'm very happy. I'm sure that the receiver is happy. And all of you who have invested money certainly will be able to get your money. Now, for those of you who did not invest directly, who simply gave your money to somebody else, I'm going to do another video in Creole because I think this issue is very important because a lot of people are not going to get money back simply because instead of investing the money themselves directly, well, they shouldn't have to begin with, but instead of investing the money directly, they actually give the money to a pastor, to a friend, to somebody else to invest for them. And that person did not invest the money under their name, under the name of the person, but under their own name. So any money that's going to go back, it's not going to go back to you if your name was not on EMINIFX list. It's going to go back to the person to whom you gave the money to, who then invested the money on your behalf, but under their name. Okay? So I will explain all of this in Creole in the next video. I just don't have the time today to go over all that. But what I want you to know, guys, I am happy for you. You should be happy. I know all of you have been waiting for this money now for the last 2 years. I have received so many phone calls the past week. Today, I've received at least 6 phone calls from people who are asking, Professor, what's going on? What's going on? And then I told them to wait for the judge to make a ruling. And an hour later, I got the email that the judge had made a ruling and the judge had approved the distribution plan, and now the receiver can move forward. So, guys, this is what I want you to do for me. For all of you who've been following me, who know how hard I work in this case, I need you to comment to my video. Let me know if you receive your money. Whenever that is, you receive it. Just say, hey, Professor, I receive a check. Because here's what happened. All of you who have received checks from the receiver, I need you guys to keep a copy of the check or some document to prove how much money you received. Because remember, I have said all along, I've said this, and I've said this before, and I'm saying it again. There is no way in God's green earth that this Ponzi scheme would have been so successful if it wasn't for the pastors in the Adventist church. When I say the pastors in the Adventist church, I want people to know that I am not bad mouthing the church itself. I am only talking about a few bad apples, pastors, you know their name, who have used their position, their respectability, who have used their influence inside the church to coerce people to invest their money, knowing that this was a Ponzi scheme, knowing that they were the one making the money, knowing that this eventually will fall flat on its face. They knew. And they made a lot of money too. So there is a lawsuit in the Southern District of Florida where the pastors in the Adventist church are being sued. And that's a class action lawsuit. The lawsuit is ongoing. So whatever money, guys, whatever you lost as a result of that, the lawyers are going to seek to collect that money from the church, so from the pastors. So I want you to keep the receipt of how much you get, how much you invested. So when the lawyers need that information, I can certainly have a video and explain to you how to submit that information to the lawyer, because all of you who have invested money are part of the class. Okay. So I don't want to make this too long, guys. I know you guys busy. I don't want to keep your time. The only thing I want to tell you is you're going to get your money. Everything is done. The judge approved the submission. The judge approved the distribution plan. So you should be okay. Just let me know when you receive the money, how much you receive. And please do me a favor, okay? Do not waste the money. I don't know how much money you invested, but whatever money you get, use it wisely. Don't invest on Ponzi scheme. Do not give your money to somebody who promised to make you rich. Okay? If you're going to invest, please do some research. Make sure that you are satisfied that your investment is a real investment, not a Ponzi scheme. Remember, if somebody promised you something that is too good to be true, 100% of the time, it is too good to be true. This is the professor. Take care of yourself.